This should be a very important game tonight. Frenzel again makes a nice cut to the outside.
You can talk about second and third effort.
To the pylon, touchdown, Charlestown. Great catch in front of the goal line.
That was a perfect throw. The sophomore quarterback
makes a great cut up the field. It's Gonzalez with the carry, bounces to the outside, to the back of the end zone. What a catch by Ryan Wynn. Hello, Boston, and welcome to Chelmsford High School for a matchup in the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA playoffs. Tonight, the Lowell Catholic Crusaders will be hosting the O'Brien Tigers. Hello, everybody. I'm Pat Flaherty. Tonight, I'm joined by my partner, Leverett Ball. And Leverett, it's playoff time in high school football here in Massachusetts. Best time of the high school football season. This is going to be a lot of exciting action here this evening.
You're absolutely right, Pat. Like you said, it's that time of year. And, there's just a different level of energy, with the players, coaches, fans, and expect a lot of hard hitting early.
No question, especially it's a little chilly tonight, so every time you have that hard hit, it hurts a little bit more than the first time around. There's two guys that we want to take a look at tonight, one from each team, and first we're going to start with the Lowell Catholic Crusaders, and their best player is their starting running back and their senior, Ian Nichols.
Yeah, Nichols, he's a tough in-between-the-tackles runner. Anytime a defensive player tries to hit him, he's going to punish them. He's not a guy who tries to avoid contact, and, look for him to continue that physicality tonight. And like you said, with the cold weather, not going to be a lot of fun trying to take him down.
No question. He's got 9 total touchdowns this season. He actually didn't even play in the first game because he had an injury that they just were being precautious and didn't want to put him in that one against East Boston. So he's going to be a lot of fun to watch tonight. Meanwhile, on the other side, for O'Brien, their best player is their starting running back, Curlins Ginty. We've seen him for a couple of weeks this season. He is a heck of a player for O'Brien.
Yeah, and Ginty does a lot of different things to help his team win. He's a guy who can, make breakaway runs, but also is a threat as a receiver. When he gets out in the open field, he's very hard to tackle one-on-one. He's very good at making guys miss, and, look for him to potentially have some big breakaway runs tonight.
Yeah, he's sort of a do-it-all running back. He runs hard between the tackles, but when he gets it out in space is where he really excels. You mentioned that he can catch the ball well, too. We've seen him catch screens, take it far, and we've seen him bust runs out to the outside, including this one right here in week 2 against Latin School, where he can just take it the distance. So he's a very important player for this Tigers team, and he's going to get the ball a lot tonight. You see some of the stats throughout the season. Just last week, he had a 90-yard rushing touchdown against Brighton, so you know that he can bust some runs loose early on.
Yeah, and a guy like that, he's hard to game plan for. Like you said, he does everything well. He's unpredictable, so, he's going to be a lot to go up against tonight.
No question. The Crusaders got their hands full with the Tigers running back, and the Tigers got their hands full with the Crusaders running back. This is going to be a lot of fun here tonight. Lowell Catholic taking on O'Brien in the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA state playoffs. Folks, we're going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have the opening kickoff here from Chelmsford High. Right after these messages. Don't go away.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can
get someone a cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates. Our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills, the smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself? What are you gonna make of me?
Welcome back to Chelmsford High School for the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA state playoffs. O'Brien Tigers taking on the Lowell Catholic Crusaders, and we are just about set to go here in Chelmsford. Lowell Catholic won the toss, and they elected to receive. Lowell Catholic in the green and navy blue uniforms. Meanwhile, O'Brien in the all-white unis with the blue trim. We are just about set to go here at Chelmsford. It is a little windy today. It actually died down a little bit, Lev. Earlier in the day, the wind was nuts. It was almost 20-mile-an-hour winds. It's died down to about 8 or 9 here this evening.
Yeah, and you see the ball blowing off the tee there, and you also have to wonder if that'll maybe affect the passing game a little bit. Obviously, like we talked about, though, both these teams like to run the ball a lot, so they can still be effective offensively regardless.
Donahue back to receive. Kaba with the squib kick there for O'Brien. Ball slips through the hands of the returner, and he's just going to down it in the end zone. So Lowell Catholic will open up their starting field position at the 20-yard line. And their sophomore quarterback, Ryan Penrose, will lead them out there for their first series.
Yeah, and it looked like Lowell Catholic was caught a little bit off guard there with the squib kick. Mishandled it. Obviously with the adrenaline pumping on the opening kickoff in a playoff game, they were looking to make a long run back and, not prepared for the squib, like I mentioned.
Yeah, it's a good call. It did look like they weren't quite sure how to field that one. There's Ryan Penrose out of the shotgun. Nichols joins him in the backfield. The handoff to Nichols here on first down. Monster hole for him on his first carry. He fumbled the football. Nichols fumbles the football, and O'Brien recovers at the Lowell Catholic 34-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, what a way to start out. First offensive play. As you see there, I think when he went in between the tackles, he protected the ball. Once he got free in the open field, got a little bit excited, was looking for the daylight, and, didn't protect the ball. Results in a fumble.
So 2 plays that certainly worked in O'Brien's favor. You saw the kick go all the way through the receiver's hands, and then you also had a fumble right there for Nichols. There's the starters for the O'Brien Tigers. You got Brooks as the starting quarterback, Curlins Ginty, who we mentioned, Grell, Smith, and Foster are the receivers.
Yeah, we'll see, obviously, if they can keep the momentum going on offense. Off to a good start, obviously.
Spread formation for the Tigers here on first down. Jaden Smith, the man in motion. Brooks back to throw, looking for Smith over the middle. Smith can't come up with the catch. So the ball falls incomplete there on first down.
And a dangerous play there with the ball deflecting off of his hands, going straight up. They're lucky there wasn't a defender there in position to pick that ball off. Can you imagine the first 2 offensive plays, for each team resulting in turnovers?
That would be disaster for both squads. Not the first time we'd see that, though.
Yeah.
In a playoff game, guys are nervous.
Yeah.
Some guys, especially quarterbacks, want to throw their first pass 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So wouldn't have been a surprise.
And the other thing you'll see early on in playoff games is a long snap count, trying to get defensive players to jump off sides.
That time they tried to run the sweep with Jaden Smith, but the Crusaders sniff it out in the backfield. It's going to be a 3-yard loss on the play. That's going to back up O'Brien to the 38-yard line.
And the LC D-line really came to play all over that.
Loss of 3 on the play, 3rd and 13, Tigers.
Third and 13. Brooks escapes that rusher. Now tries to get to the outside. He's going to be wrapped up at the 39. So another 1-yard loss that time for the O'Brien Tigers, and going to be 4th down.
Again, brought down number 52, Josh Sayer. Loss of 1 more play, 4th and long. for the Tigers.
So the Tigers are going to looks like they're going to line up to punt the football here, play a little field position game as Kaba is back to kick for the Tigers. Sometimes you'll see coaches go for it, especially this deep in the other team's territory.
I guess with the amount of time they have left, they want to play it safe.
Kaba with an end-over-end punt. Good bounce there for the Tigers. Can they pick it up before the end zone? Yes, they can. 38-yard punt for Kaba as it's down at the 1 by number 11, Karan Small.
That ball placed perfectly on the punt, and obviously working, right in front of your own end zone. I mean, that's tough for an offense. They're worried about the chance of a safety, and it's hard for them to, do different run plays and, plays they'd normally be comfortable doing on first down.
They're the starters for the Lowell Catholic Crusaders. It's Penrose under center, Nichols and Ortega in the backfield, Rudy Foll and Martin are the receivers. On first down, they go with Nichols again, and Nichols plows forward just to get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Picks up a couple on first down. See where they mark it.
And obviously just looking for some breather room there, and trying to give their offense just some more space to work with.
A 4-yard pickup there on first down. 2nd and 6 now for the Crusaders. Give again to Nichols. Nice cutback by the senior for the Crusaders as he picks up a first down and then some as he makes his way up close to the 17-yard line.
Yeah, and that time, obviously protecting the ball at the end of the run. And, like I said, he's a running back who likes to punish defensive players. And if you're going to take him down, it's going to hurt.
On first down, again, up the gut they go with the senior tailback, Nichols. He picks up another couple of yards on first down.
Nichols again with the carry. Brought down by number 77, Sean Bassett.
Pick up a 4 on the play there for Ian Nichols.
4-yard gain play. 2nd down and 6 for the Crusaders.
2nd and 6 again for the Crusaders. Penrose over the left side and couldn't hit his receiver. The ball was behind him. He was looking for Keenan Rudy Pohl.
And LC trying to really ease Penrose into this game. He's a sophomore quarterback starting in a playoff game. As you saw, they started out with some run plays to Nichols. Just try and get him into the flow of the game a little bit before they start dropping him back to pass.
Yeah, Penrose has started all season long, but he hasn't ever played a playoff game. So this is new territory for this young quarterback. Now on third down, Penrose over the middle. Almost a great catch that time by the Crusaders, but the pass was broken up. As Penrose was looking for Donahue. Declan Donahue couldn't come up with that one. Antoine Foster coming across and breaking that pass up.
And Donahue getting up slowly after that play. Obviously he exposed his body when he went for that ball and took a pretty solid hit there.
So the Tigers force the Crusaders to punt. End over end kick. It's fielded right around the 42-yard line. Good return here for O'Brien. That's Foster on the return inside the 30 and then dragged down inside the 25-yard line again. Very good field position for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that's a big momentum swing there. Obviously early on, 0-0 game in the playoffs. Making explosive play as the return man. And they're, like I said, they're going to try and continue the momentum. They're able to force that turnover on the first series for LC. Couldn't continue the momentum on offense, had to punt it away. Let's see what they can do here after the big return.
First and 10 now for the Tigers from the 22-yard line. Direct snap to Ginty. Curlin's Ginty looking for some space. squeezes through and makes his way down to the 16. So about a 6-yard run there for Ginty.
And O'Brien has an interesting situation at quarterback. They've had a little bit of a 2-quarterback offense, rotating guys. Obviously Brooks playing a lot, but then also getting some snaps for junior Luke Maffeo. Maffeo also sometimes plays tight end as well.
Yeah, he's lined up at the slot on this play here on 2nd and 2. They give it to Ginty again. This time he's keyed on by the Crusaders defense. And he's wrapped up right around the 18-yard line. Might have lost a yard or two.
Ginty Vinny again on that play. Loss of 2.
So the Tigers will be faced with a 3rd and 4. Here with just about 7 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Bryant needs to take care of this good field position. Brooks on the quarterback keeper, tries to make a cut, but he's wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Really good job defensively that time by the Crusaders.
Brooks the keeper. Down by number 10, Drew Martin.
Andrew Martin getting in there on the stop.
Yeah, Lowell Catholic was not falling for that. You know, Brooks faked the handoff trying to draw the defense in. Didn't work, and he had no space to work with on the outside.
So 2-yard loss on the play. As there you see Brooks. A good week last week. Dual threat quarterback now looking to throw over the left side. Couldn't hit Jaden Smith yet on the sideline. So that time Brooks and Smith couldn't hook up for the first down, so it's going to be a turnover on downs. Back to Lowell Catholic.
No conversion. Brings up Lowell Catholic first down.
But, you know, like you said, Pat, you know, a lot of high school teams like to go for it in that situation. You know, they're not backed up in their own territory. And obviously at the high school level, you know, there aren't place kickers who can hit the long, you know, the long-range kicks. So you'll see guys, you know, teams go for it a lot more on 4th down, like you said.
So once again, the Tigers unable to pick up a first down after that good punt return. They even had a good first down play with that 6-yard run by Curlin's Ginty. Now on first down for Lowell Catholic, they go back to their running game, straight up the gut. And a hard run up to the 35, to make that the 34-yard line, goes Ian Nichols.
Number 5, Ian Nichols preparing, brought down by number 14, Antoine Foster. Not before he gains enough for Lowell Catholic first down.
49 yards so far on the ground for Nichols. Now they go with the wide receiver screen as Drew Martin tries to escape, but he's wrestled down at the 35, so just a 1-yard pickup there on first down.
Penrose pass complete to number 10, Drew Martin. Brought down by number 16, Joel Davis.
2nd down and 9 now for the Crusaders. And it's Nichols again. This time he's dropped in the backfield. Omi Grell coming across to make that stop.
And we've still yet to see Penrose try to push the ball down the field. You know, we've seen some play action, some short passes. You know, obviously a lot of runs from Nichols. But eventually, you know, O'Brien's going to start to catch on to Nichols' tendencies. And that's really going to challenge Penrose to step up and, like I said, make some throws down the field.
3rd and 9 now for the Crusaders. Again, they go with the wide receiver screen. And O'Brien, again, is all over it. Making the reception was Danny Sullivan, but lost a yard actually on that play as the Tigers were able to sniff it out. So Michael Brooks and Antoine Foster also getting in there. So now the Crusaders are back to kick. And it's Foster again back to receive, and that punt goes off the side of the foot and out of bounds at the O'Brien 47-yard line. Normally would be good field position, but O'Brien's used to be in Lowell Catholic territory this entire quarter.
Well, and obviously, with Foster's previous return, Lowell Catholic did not try to boom that ball down the field. Kicked for the corner, not as much distance on it, but obviously they don't want to put the ball in the hands of a dangerous playmaker. It's almost like at the NFL level when teams would never kick to Devin Hester. They'd always kick it out of bounds intentionally.
So we'll see if the Tigers can string some first downs together. They haven't even been able to pick up one yet, despite having great field position here in the first quarter. Now they're at their own 47-yard line with 4:13 left to go in the opening frame. The handoff to Ginty. Curlins tries to cut upfield. He is met at the line of scrimmage. And they'll mark him down right around the 47-yard line, so no gain on the play for Curlins Ginty.
Number 7, Curlins Ginty. Need to carry. Brought down the line. 2nd and 10, Tigers.
So 2nd down and 10 now for the Tigers. Two backs in the backfield along with Michael Brooks. Brooks low snap to him, flips it over to Ginty, but he's unable to come up with it. Pass was a little too low for the O'Brien tailback.
Yeah, and I've been impressed so far with what I've seen from Lowell Catholic defensively. I mean, not falling for any of O'Brien's gimmicks. Very fundamentally sound, always in position. Of course, that time just a poor job of execution by O'Brien. Obviously with the fumble snap, and that play wasn't going anywhere from the start.
So once again, the Tigers now forced into a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Single back formation, spread formation as Brooks rolls to his right. Now going to tuck it in and run. Michael Brooks picks up a good chunk of yardage into Lowell Catholic territory, but it's going to be about 4 yards short of the first down.
Yeah, and obviously conservative approach there. A little surprising on 3rd and long. The second he caught that snap, rolled out to his right. But both teams have, been pretty conservative offensively so far. Unless anything changes, maybe this is just going to be, kind of a defensive battle.
It has been so far here in the first quarter. Kaba again back to kick. Another tough punt to field. This time Lowell Catholic's got to jump on it. And they do right around the 13-yard line. Declan Donahue again back to receive. That's just, Kane kind of kicks like a knuckleball back there. That's really hard to field.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, kicks like that, whether it's the knuckleball or the angle kick, you're not going to put as many yards on it, but a lot harder for a guy to make a play in the open field. That's tough also as a returner. You have that instinct to run wild, make plays, make those long returns, but obviously you have to look it in first. It's a big issue. Remember Cyrus Jones, the old Patriots returner?
That's right. Don't even bring him up, please. With so many high hopes for that young man. Now on 1st down for the 3rd possession for Lowell Catholic. And again, Tigers coming across in the backfield and picking up a stop and causing negative yardage as they try to run the sweep with Declan Donahue. See the timing just a little bit off on that handoff.
Yeah.
Donahue had to slow down.
Yeah, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record. I mean, both teams offensively have tried to do some gimmicky things. Hasn't worked.
Penrose throwing an out ball, but that one's going to be well out of bounds.
And it's interesting. Both teams are in such similar situations heading into this playoff game with relatively inexperienced starting quarterbacks, great running backs, great defense.
You can see Coach Jason Houston as Penrose's last pass was incomplete as he was looking for Nick Sawyer, the freshman, over near the sideline. So 3rd down and 10 again for Lowell Catholic. Penrose looking for a Another receiver down the left side, but the ball falls incomplete. As that was Ian Nichols out of the backfield. And once again, Lowell Catholic's going to have to punt.
Well, and that shows the level of confidence they have in Nichols, obviously being their starting running back, carrying the ball all the time. But, you know, the longest pass they throw in this game was intended for him as well.
So on 4th down, Crusaders, low line drive kick. Didn't travel very far as they're going to mark it down at the 27-yard line. So 22-yard punt for Lowell Catholic, and for the 3rd time in 4 possessions, the Tigers are going to start their possession inside of Crusader territory.
Like you said, I mean, great starting position, and, you know, I think you mishit that punt there. Sometimes you'll see guys kick the ball short to prevent a return, but there, obviously, with them punting from back in the end zone, you want to put as much distance on that as you can. Just mishit it, and yeah, like you talked about, a great starting point for O'Brien. And that ball barely made it over the line of scrimmage.
So get a timeout down on the field as O'Brien called a timeout before their next possession. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. We've got a lot of good stuff up on there, which games we're going to be covering, videos, and links to the games themselves. So make sure you check that out. Make sure you like us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Out of the O'Brien timeout, 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the Lowell Catholic Crusaders 27-yard line. We'll see if on their 4th possession they can take advantage of this great field position. On 1st down, they try to run it up the middle, and once again, their ball carrier is dragged down in the backfield. That time it was Curlin's Ginty, and he is slow to get up.
Ooh.
That is not a good sign for the Tigers. Sort of got rolled up on there a little bit. I didn't see anything too severe, but you never know when there's a tackle like that.
Yeah, and being attended to by the training staff, obviously. But if he can't go for the remainder of the game, that's a huge loss. We talked in the open not only about what a great ball carrier he is, but what a threat he is in the receiving game, and that drastically changes their entire offensive approach. If he can't stay in there, but obviously we'll see. You'll see a lot of lower body injuries in football on plays that aren't especially hard hitting. Sometimes the player, in that case he was being tackled, sometimes the player will just be making a cut. That time, it appeared a defensive player rolled up on his ankle.
Let's get another look at it here. Looks like they're looking at his left ankle. It was Owen Fanning who got in on the tackle.
Yeah, and it looked like he's
now they're looking at the right ankle. They were looking at both a little bit, but it is the right ankle.
Ankle trapped under his body weight there.
It didn't look like he rolled it. That's probably a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
He actually tried to get up and stand up on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you really roll your ankle, which I've done, it's the worst feeling in the world. And your ankle swells up like a softball the next day.
Yes.
Curlins is hurt. That's certainly a tough injury. They see Coach Gadsden on the far sideline. Certainly concerned. That's the absolute last guy that O'Brien can lose right now.
And obviously early on in a playoff game, having your best player go down with an injury, that's every coach's worst nightmare. As you see him leaving the field, not putting any weight on it. Actually now starting to walk a little bit. Obviously still being helped by his teammates.
Still being helped. Sometimes when you get up and you kind of walk it off a little bit, sometimes it can feel a little bit better. You get the blood moving. We'll see if Curlins can return. Now on 1st down, Brooks over the middle. And that time the pass was behind Luke Maffeo. And falls incomplete. Asmidi Izabazua now in there at running back for the Tigers.
And we see Brooks obviously stepping up in the pocket and throwing there. Obviously, with Ginty out, a lot more weight is on his shoulders. And I always say next man up in football.
With Ginty getting most of the carries this year, good opportunity for some of these other guys. As Brooks flips it over to the right side, wide open receiver there for O'Brien, and he makes his way into the end zone for a touchdown. That's number 16 for the Tigers, Jaleel Davis. Heck of a throw that time from Brooks to a wide open receiver.
Yeah, what a confidence boost for Brooks. Obviously a young quarterback starting in a playoff game. You want to get off to a good start. You don't want him to get off to a slow start and have it rattle his confidence at all. So obviously to put his team on the board with that touchdown pass is huge.
Yeah, especially with Ginty going down.
Yeah.
Big momentum swing there for the Tigers. Now on the two-point conversion. And they fumble the football, so no two-pointer that time for the Tigers. But in this rock fight that we've seen so far here in the first quarter, putting up a score early certainly helps.
Absolutely. And especially, with the way they've been playing defensively, every score is huge.
Two receivers wide open in the area. Crusaders with just a breakdown of coverage. So the Davis touchdown reception from Michael Brooks puts the first score up on the board here in the first quarter of the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA state playoffs. And we'll see how Lowell Catholic responds. Both defenses have been very good, as that was the first down, I believe, of the Tigers that actually turned into a touchdown.
Yeah, and let's not forget on the opening kickoff, O'Brien went for the squib. We'll see if they try and do something similar here, if they really try and put a boot into it.
Donahue and Nichols back to receive. And Nichols going to let that one roll out of bounds, and that's going to be a procedure penalty on the Tigers. We'll see what the Crusaders want to do. With the way that they've Lowell Catholic has fielded some of these kicks and punts, you probably just want to take the yardage, and I think they're gonna, and then take the penalty.
The ball on the 35-yard line. First and 10 LC from their own 35-yard line.
And so obviously O'Brien leading, but let's not forget, Lowell Catholic still has their starting running back healthy and out there, and that can make a big, big difference during the remainder of this game.
Now they bring it back to the 30-yard line. First and 10 now for the Crusaders from their own 30-yard line. Hand off to Nichols again. Nichols again has nowhere to go as he's bottled up at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Nichols obviously a great player, but Lowell Catholic needs to get more more offensive weapons involved. They can't just be a one-trick pony, be too predictable. They can actually open up plays for Nichols by getting other guys involved.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play. Second down and 9 now for the Crusaders. They throw the screen over the top, and they call it an incomplete pass. That was close to being a backwards pass. Smart by Davis, who wants to get back in the end zone. He's so happy with that first touchdown.
Yeah, and it looked like, obviously, like you said, O'Brien thought that was a fumble at first.
Well, anytime all the high school coaches and coaches at all levels talk about how anytime it's even close to a backwards pass, you go get it, recover that ball. Yeah, from our vantage point, it was a forward pass, but a little too close to call there. Third down and 9 now for the Crusaders. Penrose over the left side, got his receiver at the 42-yard line. They mark him down at the 44. Coming up the catch, number 18, Danny Sullivan. looks like the Crusaders are going to let the quarter run out here at Chelmsford High. So after one, here in the North Division 7, first round of the MIAA playoffs, it's O'Brien on top 6-0 thanks to this touchdown pass from Brooks to Davis. We'll be right back to the second quarter here on Game of the Week, right after these words. Don't go away.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework.
He hates homework.
It makes no sense.
I don't know how he finds anything in his backpack.
I can't find my backpack.
I couldn't even read his handwriting.
Holding the pencil makes my hand hurt.
I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just
trying
gotta
as
try a
hard
little
as
harder.
I can.
When you can see learning and attention issues from their side, you can be on their side. Go to understood.org, a free online resource with support and tools to help your child thrive.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Chelmsford High for the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA playoffs. Lowell Catholic running a great play here on second down and get Ian Nichols free as he makes his way into O'Brien territory.
Yeah, and Lowell Catholic changing it up there. You know, we talked earlier, as we took a look right here, breaking it to the outside. We talked earlier about how he's a between the tackles runner, but that time obviously breaking it to the outside, and O'Brien definitely was not anticipating that.
They mark him down at the 43-yard line, so good run there on first down for Ian Nichols. First time so far here in the first half that the Crusaders are in O'Brien territory. They run to the short side, this time fumble. Lowell Catholic fumbled the football again, and O'Brien has recovered at the 47-yard line. So 2 turnovers here in the first half for Lowell Catholic, and they are costly ones as Omi Grell comes up with the recovery.
Fumble recovered by number 10, Owen Grell. They start this drive on their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, initially when he pivoted his body, it looked like he was trying to lateral it, but, as we saw in the replay there, that ball is just stripped out. That's not even a fundamental mistake on the tailback's part. That's just a great defensive effort.
Yeah, Omi Grell doing a nice job ripping that ball out of there. So Tigers again with great field position after the turnover. They have it at their own 46-yard line. Brooks trying to roll, now cuts back to the right. Now going to tuck it in and run. Michael Brooks makes his way up to the 50-yard line, so a 4-yard run to get to midfield for the Tiger quarterback.
Michael Brooks on the keeper. He's brought down by number 58, Bobby Selecki.
Well, nice job by Brooks there, actually changing direction. He had no intention of throwing that ball when he made that pump fake, but was able to get the defender to bite, open up a running lane for himself.
Bryan Tigers with 6-0 lead. Now with the ball at midfield. Second down and 6 now. As you see Izabazua with the carry as he makes his way up to the 48-yard line.
And O'Brien continuing to pound the rock. Obviously, it's tough with Jeanty out, but, anytime you put in a backup at any position, you can't just completely flip the script as to your game plan. That's why, at the running back position and the quarterback position, they want a number 2 player as a similar style to the starter at that position.
Yeah, no question. Sure, we'll see the Tigers go back to that running game. Now it's Brooks throwing the screen to Izabazua, who is dragged down from behind. That's a heck of a defensive play
like
there for Lowell
flag.
Catholic. Are we going to get a horse collar here?
Yeah, I was going to say it looked like probably a horse collar penalty.
It's too bad. That tackle was a nice tackle because it probably prevented even maybe a touchdown.
No foul. It goes to him, and the number's not the 10. I know.
You have to wonder if he.
There is no foul on the play.
Oh.
Be third down.
So actually,
they do pick up the flag.
Okay.
So I think what happened is when we heard the referee there that the Crusaders might have already had the player wrapped up and then they grabbed the back of the jersey. If you already have the player, if your initial tackle is somewhere else and then you grab the back of the jersey, it's not technically a horse collar.
Correct. Yeah, obviously, you know, those clothesline solo horse collar tackles that you see sometimes in the NFL are very, very dangerous.
Right.
So
the 4th down and 7 now for the Tigers. Lowell Catholic calls a timeout here with 9:22 left to go in the second quarter. So here's another replay of that last tackle.
And obviously throwing off the back foot there. So he was wrapped up, although it only looked like one defender got in there, although he grabbed his jersey low. He didn't grab him near the shoulder pad area.
Yeah, looking at that, that's not a horse collar. You're right that nobody else, he initially grabbed him from the jersey, but that's not a horse collar.
Right.
That's a completely different type of tackle.
You know, it's possible because of the way the ball carrier fell to the ground in the jerking motion that made it look like a horse collar.
Yeah, the referee on that side was sort of screened by the ball carrier. Couldn't see the defender, so that's probably why they thought it was a horse collar. So the Tigers will have to punt here from their own 49-yard line. Kaba back to kick. Another end-over-end punt that Lowell Catholic's going to let roll inside the 25 and down to the 22-yard line.
Man, another late flag. We'll see what that was for.
We saw it on the far side near the O'Brien sideline.
Down at the LC 22-yard line.
You know, we've seen Lowell Catholic on a lot of their punts stacking one side of the line of scrimmage with their gunners.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 17. 15-yard penalty added to the end of the kick, first down.
So face mask penalty on the Crusaders. That one was on number 17. We don't have a 17 on the roster, but that's going to tack on another 15 yards. And once again, O'Brien's going to get good field position, this time at the 38. Their worst field position so far here in the first half, but good field position nonetheless. So O'Brien will have to kick once again. I'm sorry. Lowell Catholic here on first down. And that time it was Penrose on the quarterback keeper as he makes his way up to the O'Brien 49-yard line.
Yeah, and showing some fire after the run, getting up, hand-slapping his teammate. You know, obviously, with the handoff pump fake, trying to open something up for himself. But that's one way to get him into the game, you know, with a nice physical run there and lowering his shoulder at the end of the play.
Now with the spread formation, straight up the gut goes Nichols, breaks a couple tackles. Nichols inside the 25 and then down to the 22-yard line.
Yeah, a nice open field tackle there by Davis. I mean, he might have broken that one otherwise. Him starting to see some daylight. Davis just comes in from the side. Yeah, and if Davis isn't there, Nichols might be celebrating the end zone right now.
First down again with the spread formation. Not a good snap. Or actually, Penrose just couldn't hang on to the snap, so that's going to be a big loss there for Lowell Catholic.
Yeah, this isn't the first time tonight we've seen some issues, you know, with fumbled snaps.
A little off to the side.
A little high and off to the side. Took his eye off it. You have to wonder if the conditions affect that at all.
So instead of a 2nd and 10, it'll be 2nd and 18 now for the Crusaders from the O'Brien 30-yard line. Hand off to Nichols again. Escapes one tackler. Nichols makes a nice cut. Ian Nichols back up the middle of the field and down to the 10-yard line.
And Nichols really starting to get into a rhythm now. Back-to-back long runs there. You see him breaking a tackle actually near the backfield. That could have been potentially a tackle for loss, but then breaking that tackle and he was free.
Ian Nichols now averaging 10 yards a carry. He's got 110 yards here in the first half. We go with Nichols. Now this time it's Penrose who's going to take it himself, and he's wrapped up in the backfield at the 14-yard line.
And O'Brien wasn't going to fall for the quarterback keeper twice. Obviously we saw him, make a play earlier on in the drive on the quarterback keeper. That time they didn't fall for the play action all over it.
Loss of 3. Brings up 2nd and 13.
2nd and 13 now for the Crusaders. It's Nichols up the middle. Nichols to the end zone for a touchdown, but we get a flag in the middle of the field.
Yeah, we'll see if it's coming back.
So that one's coming back. I didn't see exactly what the penalty was, but it must be holding on the Crusaders. It is a holding call on Lowell Catholic, so they're going to bring that one back to the 15-yard line.
Yeah, and that's a devastating mistake there, obviously, with the momentum they had going offensively.
2nd down and 15. It's Nichols again. Nichols with his eyes on the end zone. Tripped up inside the 5. Very close to a first down. I think he's going to be short, though. We got a little extra contact after the whistle.
Yeah, he might not even have been hit there. I think he just lost his footing. He was tapped by the defender as he was cutting. But just losing his balance going to the turf. And then some extra friendly conversation after the play as well.
Third and 2 for the 3-yard line.
So we 3rd and 1 now for Lowell Catholic from the 3-yard line. Of course, they go to Nichols, looking for an opening. Gets wrapped up. Couldn't quite tell if he got the first down. It's going to be close. He did not get in the end zone, but I think he did pick up the first down.
Nichols again with the carry. Dropping 51, Ivan Martinez.
Give it a Sully. Honestly, that's why I was thinking.
First and goal, LC.
So he did pick up the first down there. It'll be 1st and goal now for the Crusaders.
And if Lowell Catholic can score here, I mean, that really just flips the script in this game. Obviously, they've made some mistakes with the penalty and some turnovers. But, if they're able to tie this up and they still have their top running back in there.
And this time, Nichols does punch it in for the Crusaders. So Ian Nichols basically going to him this whole drive. Scores here with 4:56 left to go in the 2nd quarter, and we're tied up at 6.
Yeah, Nichols just once again pounding it in between the tackles, not avoiding contact, and he's really gotten into a rhythm this drive. Obviously with him starting to catch fire, Jeansing out for O'Brien, Lowell Catholic could really swing the momentum here.
So Donahue now lined up to kick for Lowell Catholic, see if they can take a 1-point lead here after the Nichols touchdown plunge. Good snap, good hold. Punt was blocked there by O'Brien. So the Tigers do block the kick and keep the tie at 6 apiece. There was 4:56 left to go.
And that was the quarterback, Brooks, lining up on defense there, blocking or recovering the fumble on the blocked field goal.
Really nice. Looks like it was maybe Antoine Foster who got in there as well for the Tigers. Antoine Foster having a nice night tonight on defense and special teams so far for the Tigers.
I think it's safe to say, though, and obviously seeing the quarterback there scooping up the blocked field goal, it's safe to say Brady will not be playing on the field goal block unit for the Patriots this season.
No, I don't think so.
At age 42, probably not. There is a Hill on the Saints. Backup quarterback plays on special teams.
That's right.
A little different when that's your 3rd-string quarterback, though. Not as much money invested.
Yeah, he means a little bit little bit less to the franchise,
Yes.
I'd say, than
Well,
Brady
and we
does.
can't forget Tim Tebow on the Jets on the punt unit.
I think a lot of people wanted to forget Tim Tebow on the Jets.
Probably not making many friends with our audience tonight, talking about, Tebow on the Jets and Cyrus Jones as the Patriots punt returner.
Yeah. Suggesting that Brady should play special teams.
Yeah.
Back to receive. I look that Small, who fielded it inside the 10-yard line for O'Brien, and then he's dropped at the 25-yard line. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Davis on the return. So Jaleel Davis, who scored the touchdown back in the first quarter for O'Brien.
Yeah, and catching that ball on the long hop, which gave him some room to work with and, make a return there. And obviously the short hops, you just try to keep the ball in front of you. But with the long hop and the big bounce, almost able to catch it as though he's catching it in the air and be in a position to run downfield.
Conway coming up with the tackle there for the Lowell Catholic Crusaders. The Tigers now with a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line with 4:44 left to go in the second quarter. Izabazua with the carry here on first down. Might have picked up a yard. And they are going to mark him down right around the 26.
Yeah, so it looks like O'Brien's just going to roll with, obviously number 4, Izabazua, obviously at tailback. And like I said, he has a similar style and almost the exact same build as GT, with him being 5'10", 160, GT 5'9", 160. So, obviously a guy who maybe not the tallest guy, but can run in between the tackles, make different plays. And obviously, like I said, they're going to put, there's going to be a little more pressure on Brooks to throw from the pocket as well.
Second down and 9 now for the Tigers. Brooks thought about throwing it, now going to run it. And slithers through some tacklers and is brought down at the 32-yard line. Looks like he might have had a chance for a late hit there as Brooks was well out of bounds before being gang tackled.
And once again, using the pump fake and try and create some running room. So you see him going out of bounds. So he was contacted in bounds. The issue was they just never let go of the jersey, continued to drive him to the ground after he's clearly out. And maybe, you could argue that could have been a late hit call, but it's not as, blatant and obvious as if they just trucked him once he was already out of bounds.
3rd down and 5 for the Tigers.
So 5-yard pickup there on second down. 3rd and 4 now for the O'Brien Tigers. The handoff to Izabazua. Bounces to the outside. Picks up the first down and then some as he's dragged down right around the 44-yard line.
Nice work by Izabazua.
And I believe we have a flag on the play.
Yeah, and it actually looked like that play wasn't designed for him to break outside. He just kind of reacted to what the defense gave him.
There's no foul on the play.
They're going to pick it up. 15-yard run there for Izabazua, their biggest run of the evening so far. Gets the Tigers up to the 45-yard line, and they pick up a first down here with 2:35 left to go in the second quarter.
And, Izabazua, a junior, a more experienced player, that'd be tough, obviously for a freshman or sophomore running back in a playoff game, taking over for your best player after an injury.
Here on first down, it's Izabazua again making his way into Crusader territory at the 49-yard line. Gain of 6 on first down.
And wow, after that last play, breaking outside, that time just going right up the gut.
It'll be second down and 4 now for the Tigers. Under 2 minutes left to go. O'Brien with 2 timeouts left. Probably have to use some here shortly as Brooks has got a lot of field in front of him. He gets tripped up right around the 47, make that the 46-yard line. He had a lot of space as well. That open field tackle doesn't happen.
Yeah, we've seen Brooks continue to try to make plays with his legs. That time breaking to the outside, then cutting back in before being tackled. There have been a lot of design quarterback runs. They haven't been, him dropping back to pass and then being chased out of the pocket. Like I said, a lot of design quarterback runs. Don't expect that to change.
Ryan Penrose, the quarterback for Lowell Catholic, getting in to make the tackle out of the linebacker spot. 3rd and 2 now for the Tigers. Good job by Omi Grell avoiding tacklers and fighting his way upfield. Omi dropped the football. The football was stripped and then recovered by Lowell Catholic at the Tiger 38-yard line. So the Tigers have been doing a good job forcing turnovers. Now Lowell Catholic comes right back with one here.
You took the words right out of my mouth. Obviously Lowell Catholic with the turnover issues early. O'Brien with a turnover of their own here. What a back and forth game this has been.
Yeah, Danny Sullivan getting in there to rip that one out. So we got 59.6, so just under a minute left to go here in the second quarter. Here's another look at it. You can't blame Omi either. He's just trucking through all these tackles here and just gets the ball stripped.
You have to wonder if maybe he should have just gone to the turf on the initial contact, obviously trying to drive for more yards, although he had the ball tucked away. He wasn't being careless with the ball.
I think just like the strip before where O'Brien recovered the fumble, that was just a good defensive play by the Crusaders.
Yeah.
Tigers call a timeout here with 59.6 left to go in the second quarter. The last thing the Tigers coaching staff wants is a touchdown before halftime, and I think Coach Gadsden, after the timeout's probably saying, trying to calm the guys down a little bit.
Yeah, and obviously, you want to defend the big play. Keep your safeties back. In that situation, they tell the safeties just don't let anything get behind you. When I was growing up in Baltimore, Ed Reed, the Ravens safety, would always talk about never let the ball get behind you. If someone catches the ball in front of you, they're getting hit. He mixed in some other words, which I can't say on TV, but yeah, let them catch the ball in front of you. They're going to get punished if they do, but never let them get the ball behind you as a free safety, especially in a situation like this.
We'll see if O'Brien caters to that advice here with just under a minute to go. You got Foster back there as a safety. Penrose can throw the football, as we showed before, 11 touchdown passes this season. Now on first down, Penrose thought about throwing it, now going to run it. He fumbles the football. O'Brien picks it up right at the 40, and then they mark him down at the 37-yard line, and then Lowell Catholic saying they took it right back.
And now some shoving after the play.
They're going to keep it with the Tigers. You see Penrose almost threw it there and then gets stripped.
And I wonder if the ball started to slip out of his hand on the pump fake there, which, led to the non-ball security. He was still kind of juggling it as he got hit. But, this is starting to turn into the fumble bowl.
Omi Grell, who fumbled the ball for the Tigers, comes right back in the very next play. Chops it out there for O'Brien. 48 seconds left to go here before halftime. We'll see if the Tigers can capitalize after getting the ball back. They shift their entire skilled player set, run the bunch formation, now go over the middle there to Maffeo. Luke Maffeo gets inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line. Tigers got to move quickly.
Yeah, running the hurry up, obviously. Maffeo, we talked about him before.
The Tigers call timeout.
You see him catching the pass over the middle there, but listed on the roster as a quarterback, actually played a fair amount at the quarterback position last season. But it takes a certain mentality, to go from being a quarterback to contributing in other positions and embracing the role.
Michael Brooks stringing together 4 completed passes here in the second quarter. You see some fans braving the cold weather. It's dipping into the 40s tonight. It's certainly November 1st for this game. And
thank goodness they have an indoor broadcast booth here.
Yes. We very much appreciate the work of our camera crew and our grips and everybody outside right now.
If I were on the camera crew, I might have bought my ski suit. So the full,
I wouldn't have blamed you.
Yeah.
insulated.
Yep.
Get some of those hand warmers.
Absolutely.
It's getting to be that time of year. Well, the weather we have around here, it could be 75 next Friday night.
True.
Who the heck knows? Now on first down for the Tigers. Brooks off the pump fake. Going to the back of the end zone. Ball was knocked incomplete as he was looking.
I want to see the replay there if it was
For
stripped out. Or if he
Jaden
just
Smith.
dropped it.
Pass falls incomplete. Flag on the play.
And as you see, I
Smith
think he
lost
just
in the
dropped
lights.
it. Yeah.
I think he lost in the lights
He was
there.
pivoting his body also. You know, when you pivot
Shoved
your
him down.
body,
Personal
it's harder
foul.
to keep your
Roughing
eye
the
on the
passer. 56 defense. Half distance to the goal. First down.
That certainly helps O'Brien.
O'Brien catching a break there, though. Drop pass, but picking up the penalty on roughing the passer.
Owen Fanning committing that penalty for the Crusaders. As O'Brien now with it at the 10-yard line here, basically first and goal for the Tigers. 31 seconds left to go. They go with that same shift in formation. They're going to go with the double pass to the end zone. It's deflected and falls incomplete. Excellent defensive play that time for the Crusaders.
And you mentioned before the play the way they shifted their formation. They shifted their skill players over to be able to set up and block and allow the second pass there.
Couldn't quite see. There you go. That was Danny
Number 10,
McConley.
Grell's pass falls incomplete. Intended for number 7, Curry Magenti. Broken up by number 7, Danny McConaughey.
So McConaughey with the pass deflection. 25 seconds left to go here before halftime. Bunch formation. It's Brooks. Looking to the end zone. He's got a receiver for a touchdown. It's Davis again. Khalil Davis with his second touchdown reception of the first half.
And what a day it's been for Davis. Like you said, 2 touchdowns already. Brooks, he works best when he's rolling out, whether he's running the ball as a quarterback or throwing on the run. He's most comfortable making plays on the move. They call it almost the ride and decide style of quarterbacking. When you roll out of the pocket and try to analyze on the run whether you're going to throw or run.
Brooks and Davis hooking up for 2 touchdowns here in the first half. And now Lowell Catholic wants to call a timeout. So penalties and turnovers hurt the Crusaders and help the Tigers here late in the second quarter. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, what a sequence of events, obviously, with both teams turning the ball over in such a short period of time. But then, obviously, O'Brien able to capitalize.
So the Tigers, it looks like, are going to attempt an extra point as the lefty kicker, Jonathan Giannis, is out there, and he does boot it through for the O'Brien Tigers. So O'Brien goes up by 7 here with 18 seconds left to go before halftime. And you got to think the Lowell Catholic Crusaders are a little shell-shocked right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Low line drive kick, but he boots it through.
And, from that distance, that's good enough.
See the crescent moon there tonight. Nice night here in Chelmsford. Like we said, chilly, but clear, and the wind has definitely died down.
Nice night to sit on the couch and look out the window, but maybe not, I don't know, hiking or outdoor activity type of night.
So O'Brien. 2 passing touchdowns from Michael Brooks, both to Khalil Davis. Puts them up 13-6. We'll see. Lowell Catholic's going to try to do anything here before halftime. As Donahue fields it right around the 18-yard line. He's trying to break it loose for a run here, and it's Escapes a couple more tacklers. And Donahue is dragged down at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, that's a great individual effort there. Obviously, didn't make it far, but able to break some tackles.
You got to wonder if Coach Houston, especially with not great field position, is just going to say, you know, we've had a few turnovers here in the first half. Let's not try to do anything here. Maybe just nail on it and go into halftime.
That really would not surprise me. And, you know, in that situation, their best shot was to score on the kickoff return rather than on offense. You know, returning a kick is not as risky of a play as a Hail Mary pass when you worry about an interception and a long return. And, you know, as you saw, you know, trying to break some tackles there.
And that's exactly what the Crusaders do. So they're going to go in at the half, down by 7 as the O'Brien Tigers lead the Lowell Catholic Crusaders 13-6 here at the North Division 7. First round of the MIAA playoffs. And Lev, it seemed like there in the first half that O'Brien kept getting great field position, but they weren't punching it in. Then they got that first touchdown, and things started rolling for them a little bit. Then they got the second one there, and now they have a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and, you know, it's all about, you know, confidence. And, you know, that first touchdown got them rolling. Obviously, they have a young quarterback out there like we've talked about a lot. They want to get him off to a good start. And, yeah, and what a crazy game it's been to this point. I mean, we've seen turnovers from both teams. You know, we've seen injuries to key players. You know, we've seen some explosive plays, a little bit of everything. And, you know, honestly, it still really could be anyone's game in the second half.
No question. I mean, the way that the ball's been turning over, the way that, you know, some of these returns and field position things have happened, that it could be a very interesting second half, to say the least. Certainly an interesting first half. Folks, we're going to head to break here at the half as we gather some stats and good things like that. But make sure you stick around. We'll be right back with our halftime stats and some halftime player highlights when we return in just a few. Make sure you hang with us.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
You go and step out of the vehicle for me?
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried biking, and it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same.
Gotta get the boys. Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit, and now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
We can warn someone when their drink isn't safe.
And disrupt the situation.
We can.
Get someone the cab.
Or walk them home safely.
We can make campuses safer for our friends.
Our roommates.
Our classmates, our fellow human beings.
We cannot be bystanders.
We can intervene.
It's on us.
All of us.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts. Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
Welcome back to Chelmsford High School for the North Division 7 state playoffs here in the first round as the O'Brien Tigers lead the Lowell Catholic Crusaders 13-6 in Leverett. That was a wacky first half. We had a lot of turnovers. We had some penalties. We saw O'Brien not get a first down for like 3 or 4 possessions, and all of a sudden they have 2 scores on the board.
Yeah, and I think the weirdest sequence of events there in the first half was, that there's back-to-back turnovers by LC and O'Brien, and then they score late in the half. But like I said, at the end of the first half, we've seen a little of everything. We've seen injuries, big plays, turnovers, and who knows what could happen in the second half. Also, I really want to know what Ginty's status is. Is he officially done for the day?
Right.
Could we see him come back out in a limited role or at full speed? So, there's still a lot to see in the second half. And like I said, it could really be anyone's game at this point, obviously, despite the 13-6 score.
No question, no question. Very back and forth first half, as we've talked about so far. We'll see how these players respond after that crazy first half. Let's take a look at the halftime highlights, or halftime stats, rather, here from Chelmsford High. And first up, it's Lowell Catholic. And there you see Nichols with 15 pass attempts for 140 yards and a touchdown. That's rushing attempts, excuse me. Nichols, obviously great first half, 140 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Penrose, 3 runs for just 2 yards, not a lot there for him. And he also had that fumble. Then you had Sullivan and Martin with some receptions there in the first half. So the passing game, as you can see with Penrose's stats, hasn't really gotten going here for the Crusaders so far.
And Nichols, obviously, with the impressive rushing stats, he did also have that fumble early. Did cost his team a little bit, but they're going to continue to ride with him. He's been their guy all season. That's not going to change.
No question. Let's take a look at the Tigers' halftime stats. There you see Izabazua picking up the load there as after Ginty went out. He's got 24 yards rushing. Michael Brooks just 14 on 7 carries. But, of course, 2 big plays there as Davis with the 2 pass receptions, 4 touchdowns there in the first half. Maffeo with a big reception for a first down for the Tigers. And there you see, it should say Brooks passing 5 for 10 with 67 yards and 2 touchdowns there for the O'Brien Tigers.
Yeah, and Brooks started to get in a rhythm towards the end of the first half. Did not look comfortable early on, but like we talked about, he made a lot of plays rolling out, whether it was rolling out and running, rolling out and throwing. We saw him do some quarterback keeps, some design quarterback run plays, and we'll see what he can do in the second half. And obviously with Ginty being out, they've had to mix things up a little bit. It's not in the script. It's not in the game plan for your best player to get hurt in a postseason game. But, in a contact sport like football, obviously there are so many injuries. You have to be prepared for anyone to go down. They always talk about the next man up mentality, and that's true at any level of football, high school, college, or pro.
No question. The Tigers are going to need a couple of their backs to step up here in the second half. They want to hang on to this 7-point lead against Lowell Catholic, who's here at home at Chelmsford High. Folks, we're going to head back to break. When we come back, we'll have the start of the second half here from Chelmsford as the Lowell Catholic Crusaders are trailing the O'Brien Tigers 13-6 here in the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA playoffs. We'll be right back. It's up the third quarter here on Game of the Week right after these words.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. That's when I met Narnese. She started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Green hat. Red hat. Oops. Red shirt. Blue shirt. Yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants. Red pants. Green pants. Oops.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. So when I met Narnese, she started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
It appears these hot ashes are about to be dumped, which could possibly start a wildfire. How will Smokey deal with such a hot situation? The garden hose defense. Next, a thorough stir. Then another spray. And finally, feeling if the ashes are cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, yes, the selfie. A ritual practiced so frequently with this tribe, but not so much by Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
About inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Welcome back to Chelmsford High School for the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA state playoffs, as we're just about ready to go here for the third quarter. One team that just has not been ready to go has been O'Brien. They took a long time getting out of the locker room. They're just getting out now, and they've been assessed a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for how late they came out of the locker room.
But what could even cause that type of thing?
Seeing O'Brien walk from their locker room, seems like it is sort of far away, especially compared to a lot of the locker rooms in the city where we see teams that are very close. So, and locker rooms that are very close to the field, or they just go to the corners of the field. They don't really use a locker room. So, definitely a far walk, but it was also a decent, it was about a 15-minute halftime. It wasn't a quick halftime.
Right.
Sometimes we see during the regular season. So, I don't know if they just didn't know where the locker room was and it took them a while to get there. We'll see how this plays out. It's just, I believe it's just going to be a 5-yard penalty.
And
it's a 15-yarder because now Lowell Catholic's kicking off at the O'Brien 45. Not the Lowell Catholic 45, the O'Brien 45.
That's
so they
wild.
can easily boot this through the end zone.
You'll see at small colleges sometimes at the Division III level, they'll actually have a tent set up for halftime.
Right.
When I was at Curry College, the football team would get dressed in a building pretty far away from the field, but at halftime they had a little tent set up for them off to the side of the turf where on the intramural softball field. They just had a little tent. So, obviously this is a neutral location. Neither team is really familiar with the facilities.
Onside kick attempted here for Lowell Catholic. It's not going to go 10 yards, so that's going to be a penalty on Lowell Catholic, and we're probably going to have O'Brien's just going to take it there. So no harm, no foul for coming out of the locker room late for O'Brien. They're going to have great field position again.
Well, and I guess, Lowell Catholic saw them come out onto the turf late, thought they might be a little bit out of sync, but, got a little greedy there and obviously didn't hit the onside kick hard enough.
First and 10 Tigers.
I guess maybe the risk level is lower, though, obviously, from where they were kicking the ball.
That's a good point, too. They still have the ball inside the 40-yard line.
But talk about a weird start to the second half.
It goes with what happened in the first half.
Yeah.
The Tigers with first and 10 now at their own 39-yard line. Start the third quarter. It's Izabazua with the carry, and this time he is bottled up in the backfield. Nowhere to go there for Osa Izabazua.
Yeah, and Izabazua back out once again. It could be, it's quite possible that GT is just done for the night. And if he is, it's the Izabazua show. They're going to lean on him heavily at tailback. Obviously, like we talked about, a little earlier, Brooks did start to get on a roll, towards the end of the first half. I thought maybe at one point when he was struggling that maybe they would give Maffeo some looks at QB.
There's a quarterback keeper here for Brooks, who gets dragged down at the 38-yard line, so 1 yard loss on the play there for the Tigers.
Yeah, and Ian Sullivan, the linebacker, getting up there, fired up after that tackle. You saw him fist pumping to his sideline. Like I said, it's playoff season. The intensity's there. You gotta love the passion.
I'm not ready yet. Seriously? Let's go, boys.
So third down and 11 now for the Tigers. Brooks Looking down the field, and he's dropped in the backfield. So Brooks with nowhere to go with the football, coming up with the sack. I think it was 56, Owen Fanning there for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and Lowell Catholic starting to catch on to, Brooks' playing style. Based on what they saw in the first half, they know he's not going to drop back and throw. They know he's going to try and move around, and now Maffeo actually lining up at QB.
It's Tigers back to punt now for O'Brien. And an end-over-end kick this time for Kaba. That sticks right around the 49-yard line. And Omi Grell downs it at the 49. So good field position here for the Crusaders as they force the Tigers into a 3-and-out.
Yeah, now we'll see if Lowell Catholic can get into a rhythm offensively. And actually another flag down.
That penalty is going to be on Lowell Catholic. I didn't see what the penalty was. So that was a hold on the Crusaders on the return, or actually there was no return, but just on the punt itself. So that's going to back up the Crusaders inside the 40-yard line. This has been a problem for the Crusaders so far in this game. I mean, every time that they shift the momentum in their favor, they either turn the ball over or have a penalty like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've seen the turnovers and penalties from both teams.
It's Nichols again with the carry, this time on first down. And Ian Nichols is wrestled down at the 47. So that's an 8-yard pickup there on first down for Ian Nichols.
And that time just ran it up the gut, then cut to the outside. And O'Brien needs to be able to stop him. Nichols really got on a roll at the end of the first half. And really, Lowell Catholic's chances of winning this game are really riding on his shoulders.
Nichols again with the carry. No, this time it's Penrose off the fake, off the RPO play, and Penrose gets inside the 45 up to the 43.
Yeah, you see there, obviously faking the handoff. The defense bit that time. Like we talked about, great players open up opportunities for other players. Having a good running back allows you to fake the handoff and then either do a design quarterback run or throw.
It's Nichols again with the carry, and this time he plows forward inside the 40 down to the 37-yard line. Second and 3 now for the Crusaders. Again, it's to Nichols. Bust through the middle. Nichols still on his feet. Dragged down at the 30, so another first down for the Lowell Catholic Crusaders.
But eventually Penrose is going to have to drop back and throw the ball. Nichols there that time just running up the gut again effectively. But early on in the game, both quarterbacks really struggled. Towards the end of the first half, Brooks started to make some plays. We've yet to see Penrose really drive back and make plays. He's been, handing off a lot. Nichols has played well, but they need to mix it up.
Now on first down, it's Nichols again, and that time, just like you said, Nichols being keyed on as Izabazua gets in on the tackle.
Yeah, and obviously defenses normally, they teach you to react to the ball, anticipate run or pass. They're just anticipating run right now.
Two-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, the way that Brooks got hot was by scrambling around, making plays. Maybe we'll see Penrose try to move his feet a little bit.
2nd and 8 now. It's Nichols, cuts it back, and tries to pick up positive yardage after there was nowhere to go on the left side. And he's brought down at the 29-yard line, no gain on second down.
But he covered a lot of ground just to get back to the line of scrimmage. You see him run to his left, nothing open, cut back to his right, then forwards, met by multiple defenders right at the line of scrimmage.
Third and 9 now for the Crusaders. It's Penrose. on the keeper. Gets down inside the 20. He's going to get a first down.
Wow.
They mark him down at the 19. So Ryan Penrose with a
Gutsy call
10-yard
there.
carry on third down.
Because that was definitely a designed quarterback run. He had no intention of throwing that ball from the get-go. And obviously, third and long, you don't expect a QB run. Went for it, was able to make the play.
Now on first down. Penrose going to the air. Throws it up to the end zone, and the ball falls incomplete. Ball was a little underthrown as he was looking for Keenan Rudy Full.
Penrose's pass intended for number 1, Keenan Rudy Full.
Lowell Catholic continues with the no huddle. On second down, it's Nichols with the carry. He got popped at the line right around the 17 as they drop him at the 16. So short gain there on second down.
Oof, and a hard hit there, but actually managed to stay on his feet initially. Eventually went down. But, you know, O'Brien in this second half, they've really stepped up their physicality on defense.
Defensive lineman Ivan Martins coming up with a big hit right there. So it's 3rd and 7 now for Lowell Catholic. Penrose on the keeper again. This time I think he's going to be a couple yards short of the first down as they drag him down, I believe right around the 11-yard line. So it'll be about 4th and 2 here for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and I mean, Lowell Catholic essentially using Penrose almost like an option quarterback. Very rarely will you see him just set up to throw.
Crusaders going for it on 4th down. Trying to draw the Tigers off sides to start. And now Coach Houston wants a timeout here with 4:32. Make that 4:30 left on the clock.
They had no intention of snapping that ball when they lined up. They were just trying to get the 5-yard penalty. When they didn't get it, you know, obviously drawing the defense off sides. When they didn't get that offsides penalty, they then called timeout. But you'll see that, you know, oftentimes teams in that type of situation will line up before calling a timeout just to try to get the penalty first. It doesn't usually work, but obviously when it does, it's huge.
No question. So we'll see what Lowell Catholic does coming out of the timeout. O'Brien not allowing a first down there. This O'Brien Tigers team has done a nice job gang tackling. Once they make that first hit, then 3 or 4 more guys are coming to help out with the tackle.
And they talk about getting multiple hats on the ball. And, you know, obviously, you know, when you have, you know, a tough physical in between the tackles running team like Lowell Catholic, that's what you have to do.
4th and 2 now for the Crusaders. They give it to Nichols as he got wrapped up, and I think he's going to be, that's really close. He might be short. They gave it to him.
Ooh.
Nichols picks up the first down there for the Crusaders. Huge first down for Lowell Catholic. Very close call there for Lowell Catholic, but they pick up the first down, so now 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. And they try to run the sweep with Nichols. He gets to the outside, eludes a tackler, waltzes into the end zone for a Lowell Catholic touchdown.
Yeah, and that run he made on 4th down in short yardage is looking even bigger now, obviously resulting in a touchdown to conclude the drive.
He's now got 176 yards on the ground, but no bigger run than right there as he picks up the touchdown. And now Lowell Catholic will try to tie it up here with the point after, or will they run a 2-point play and try to go ahead? I think they're going to try a 2-pointer.
And they actually sent Nichols, the running back, over the sideline to get the play call from the coach and then relay it over to the quarterback rather than the quarterback going over.
On the 2-point conversion, Penrose rolling to his right, dumps it off, and it's good for a 2-pointer. Penrose couldn't quite see who he got on the completion. Oh, he finds his receiver, Andrew Martin, the senior pass catcher for the Lowell Catholic Crusaders, comes up with a 2-pointer.
Yeah, and after being so reluctant to throw the ball all drive, not afraid to go for it there. You obviously rolled out. The defense, I think, expected him to try to dive into the corner of the end zone. Found an open man, punched it to him.
So the Crusaders take the lead for the first time here in the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA playoffs. After that 2-point conversion, we'll see how the Tigers respond. It's a heck of a drive there by the Crusaders, mostly fueled by Ian Nichols.
Yeah, and he's just put his team on his back. Obviously, it's hard to rely on one player, but with a player of his caliber, sometimes it works.
And that kick just sticks into the ground inside the 20-yard line. Good return here, though, for O'Brien. That's exactly what they needed after giving up a touchdown. And I believe it was Davis on the return as he's marked down right around the 36-yard line.
What a day Davis has had, with the nice return there. 2 touchdowns in the first half. You don't usually expect to see someone break a big run on a return after the ball's just planted in the ground there. Sometimes guys will just fall on it. He had other ideas, able to pick up some extra yards.
Tigers take the return up to their own 36-yard line.
So here comes Michael Brooks with 2 touchdowns in the first half. 2 passing touchdowns, I should say.
Yeah, and Brooks today, obviously, like I said, got off to a slow start early, then got on a roll at the end of the first half, rolling out, making plays, running, throwing on the run. But that last drive, Lowell Catholic was not falling for it. They were all over his design quarterback runs.
Brooks over the middle. He's got Foster. Foster like he was shot out of a cannon. To the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
And talk about just finding another gear quickly. Just simply outran the safety there. Didn't juke. Didn't make a move. I think Brooks, with the way the last drive went, knew he needed to change up his approach. So throwing the ball right down the middle of the field, which he hasn't done much all game, but then literally just sprinting past the safety there was Foster.
64-yard touchdown connection. Man, he just blew by the entire secondary on that one. So just like that, the Tigers regain the lead up by 5. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion. O'Brien with trips to the left. And Brooks going to try to run it over the right side. And he's going to be wrapped up. So no 2-point conversion that time for O'Brien. So they're now up by just 5. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Brooks with the keeper, brought down the backfield. First Crusader there is number 7.
Foster just scooting to the house there. 64-yard touchdown connection. 5-point lead for O'Brien here with 3:34 left to go in the third quarter. Big missed extra point there because now if Lowell Catholic goes down and scores a touchdown, they already have a 1-point lead.
Exactly. And sometimes, the missed PATs and 2-point conversions, you don't realize the significance until the final score.
Cabo with the boot. That's fielded by Nichols right around the 20-yard line. Here comes Nichols with a little bit of space. Ian Nichols trying to cut it back up, and he's chopped down at the 40, but he sets up his team in good field position once again.
Well, and as if, seeing him dominate from the running back position wasn't enough, that time making a play as a kickoff returner and kind of setting the tone for, obviously Lowell Catholic and what their approach will mostly be this coming drive. They're going to continue to feed him, and they're going to continue to do that until someone from O'Brien is able to stop him. And, O'Brien has been able to make some plays gang tackling, but really no one on their defense to this point has shown an ability to, make tackles on Nichols one-on-one.
First down for the Crusaders at their own 40-yard line. Penrose tucks it in again on the RPO and makes his way up to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and once again, the defense anticipating Nichols getting the ball there. Penrose diving it forward.
7-yard gain. Brings up second and
And, you know, even with Lowell Catholic primarily running the ball almost every play, they've tried to at least mix it up by sometimes making it a QB run instead of a tailback run, or, you know, running Nichols to the outside rather than up the gut. But essentially they're just trying to set him up to have, you know, openings in the middle of the field, like right here.
Here's Nichols again on the carry, and Nichols gets past midfield up to the 48-yard line of O'Brien. Nichols shaking up a little bit after that play.
Yeah, and was kind of twisted to
I'm
the
sorry,
ground.
that's Donahue that was coming up, limping there. Ron Small coming up with the tackle on that last play for the Tigers.
Crosses the 50 to the 48-yard line, and a Lowell Catholic first down.
You know, in the second half, we've seen Nichols a little bit, you know, once he gets through the line and gets into the open field, trying to shift his feet a little bit more. The first half, he was just trying to deliver blows to defenders.
Nichols on the sweep, wrapped up in the backfield, 2-yard loss on the play as Nichols was hit at the 50-yard line and didn't have anywhere to go.
First Tiger there is number 77, Sean.
And it looked like the snap was bobbled a little bit there before the handoff. You have to wonder if that just threw off the rhythm of the play.
2-yard loss on the play, 2nd and 12, Crusaders.
So 2-yard loss on first down. It'll be 2nd down and 12 now for Lowell Catholic.
Well, it'd be interesting to see, obviously, after the loss on first down, if this is a spot for them to throw the ball.
They give it to Nichols again, and this time up the middle. He gets back to the 48-yard line, back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 10 now for the Crusaders.
Well, so much for my prediction there. Yeah, Nichols that time just lowering the shoulder.
Once again, Devi Rapa in there to make the stop at defensive tackle for the Tigers. He's got 6 tackles tonight so far. 3rd and 10 now for the Crusaders. Penrose going to the air. Threw it behind his receiver as he was looking for number 18, Danny Sullivan.
Pass ball's incomplete. Intended for number 18, Danny Sullivan.
He's targeted him about 4 times so far in this game.
Yeah, and that pass behind him, Sullivan might have had room to work with if he'd been able to catch that ball.
So Crusaders are going to have to punt the football. Back to receive once again is Davis. And it's going to be offsides on O'Brien. Bryant lined up in the neutral zone.
Offside. Number 4 of the defense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Offsides call against the Tigers.
Would be interesting here for Coach Houston now with the ball at the 43. It looks like they're still going to punt the ball.
Yeah, and Foster back to receive the punt. Actually, now.
No, they're gonna go for it. They're gonna go for it. That's a huge penalty there because now you're thinking about 5 yards. It's now a 4th and 5, and now Coach Houston wants to talk about it. As I believe Lowell Catholic called a timeout.
Although, perhaps maybe if Lowell Catholic goes for it and doesn't get it, the penalty could work to their advantage. Obviously, it's not the way you script it up defensively. Very rarely would you take a penalty intentionally, but
here's another look at the offsides penalties. There you see on the end there, O'Brien lining up in the neutral zone.
Yeah, you know, that's not even a matter of, you know, moving too quickly. That's just not having awareness of where you are on the field.
So they haven't taken the time off the scoreboard yet, so I don't think that was a timeout. I didn't see a signal for a timeout either. As now they try to get it to Nichols. He's got nowhere to go. The Tigers come up with the stop. as Nichols lost a yard on the play.
Yeah, and that time actually they tried to break it to the outside. There was nowhere to go. He tried to cut back to the middle. Nowhere to go either. The defensive line for Bryant hanging tough, not giving him any space to run.
So Nichols got the ball 3 times on that last series and finished with -1 yards rushing the ball. So 1st and 10 now for the Tigers at their own 44-yard line. Brooks back to throw, has to scramble. Now going to tuck it in and run. Michael Brooks eluding tacklers as he's dropped right around the 43-yard line. 14-yard pickup there for Brooks and a 1st down for the Tigers.
Yeah, at the end there, Lowell Catholic trying to force the fumble. You see kind of the chopping motion on the tackle.
And that is going to do it for the 3rd quarter here on Game of the Week, folks. We're going to come right back with the 4th quarter. In this playoff matchup, 5-point lead for O'Brien. Thanks to this pass and reception to Foster, who just blew by everybody for the touchdown. We'll be right back with the 4th quarter here on Game of the Week. Make sure you stick around.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Chelmsford High School for the North Division 7 first round of the state playoffs. We're just about set to go here for the 4th quarter on Game of the Week. And now the Tigers got to call a timeout here as they got to think about things coming out of the quarter. That's the last thing you want to see is you have to call a timeout after you just had the end of the quarter.
Well, and they really didn't know what they wanted to do as far as their setup on offense. They actually had their quarterback, Brooks, split out kind of in the slot. Although it's funny, we talked about how Maffeo plays both tight end and quarterback. He wasn't actually under center either. They were going to direct snap it to their running back, some type of trick play. But
yeah, we'll see what the Tigers come up with here out of the timeout now that they know that Lowell Catholic's looking at it. Folks, if you want to follow us on social media, you can go to our Facebook page. Go to facebook.com/GameOfTheWeekBoston. We got a lot of good stuff up on that site. Make sure you like us there. You can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. If you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. Out of the timeout, they hand it off to Izabazua here on 1st down, and Osa, with not a lot of running room, might have picked up a yard, maybe 2, as he made his way up to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, just a standard run play there on 1st down. But, obviously O'Brien, they can be a little bit less aggressive with the lead now. Obviously not a big lead, but they don't need to maybe press quite as hard to make explosive plays.
2nd down and 8 now for the Tigers. Brooks back to throw over the middle, picked off.
Oh.
Intercepted by Lowell Catholic. That's Aiden Maston coming up with the pick.
Yeah, and he was trying to throw it to his fellow quarterback, Maffeo there, who's lined up in the slot. You see him dropping back to throw, and that's actually just a great individual effort defensively. Not even that bad of a decision or throw, obviously on the part of Brooks.
Yeah, really nice interception there by Maston. Interesting thing about Aiden was actually the starting quarterback last year, played a couple of games, tore his ACL, and then came back this season, was still recovering from his torn ACL, so that's why Penrose started the year, was throwing the ball all over the place, and that's why the Crusaders ended up sticking with Penrose most for this season, and Maston's been playing a lot more on defense. And then you see why with the interception. Here comes Penrose now on the keeper from the run-pass option, and he makes his way up to the 34-yard line.
Yeah, that can be devastating, though, for players, as we see the quarterback keeper, but that can be devastating for some players to initially come off the field due to injury, but then not get your spot back when you're healthy. But both of these teams have kind of flip-flopped at the quarterback position in the past year or so.
Second one now for the Crusaders. They hand off to Nichols as he gets past the 45 up to the 47 and picks up the first down.
Yeah, and obviously, as you see, another standard run play by Nichols there. But, I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but Lowell Catholic in this situation, trailing in the fourth quarter, I'd like to see them try and push the ball down the field, take some more risks.
Give it to Nichols. No, it's Penrose who keeps it himself. And gets crunched at the 41, so a 4-yard gain on first down for Penrose.
Yeah, and you see Penrose there, obviously, once again, using Nichols to try and draw the defense away from him. And their approach offensively in the second half has just been a steady diet of handoffs to Nichols and quarterback keepers.
Penrose now with 42 yards rushing in the second half. They give it to Nichols here, and a big hole for Nichols as he bounces to the outside. Ian Nichols then steps out of bounds right around the 42. So a 17-yard pickup there to pick up a first down. We talk about a workhorse back. 29 carries now for Nichols. He's got 202 yards rushing this evening.
Oof.
We still got a lot of time left.
Yeah.
Now on first down from the O'Brien 43, it's Nichols again. More room again for Nichols. Now he finds the sideline. Nichols looking for a block as he steps out inside the 20. And they'll mark him down at the 18-yard line.
Nichols with the carry. He's pushed out by
marked out at the 19, rather.
Yeah, and like I said, Nichols in the second half has done a much better job of making moves in the open field. He's a guy who loves contact, but he knows his team needs him to break some long runs. He's kind of taken away that urge to just lay hits on defenders.
Inside of 9 minutes left to go. Here's Penrose on the run quarterback keeper. And he gets inside the 5-yard line. We also got a flag on the play. That could be anything. That could be a hold. That could be a block in the back. That could be a face mask. That territory of the field, although the Crusaders are saying that it's on O'Brien.
Personal foul.
It is a face mask.
Face mask called against O'Brien. Lowell Catholic first down.
Although possibly that face mask may have saved the touchdown.
That's what the player's going to say to the O'Brien coaching staff. This is why I committed the penalty, guys.
Yeah. And you know what? It probably would have scored, yeah.
It might have. It might have prevented a touchdown. That's a good point, Lev. So now Lowell Catholic, after the face mask penalty, has the football at the 5-yard line, first and goal. There's another look at it. Nice run by Penrose.
It may not have even been intentional. It looked like he was trying to wrap him up. Penrose made the cut, which led to his arm kind of slashing across his face mask. But intentional or not, they still throw the flag.
Two receivers to the top of your screen, one at the bottom. They hand off to Nichols on first and goal. Nichols fights forward and had nowhere to go with it.
Yeah, and O'Brien knew it was coming there. They were all over it, smothered it. Nichols tried to keep the feet moving, just couldn't, as they stood him up.
Ivan Martin's in there on the stop for the Tigers. Second and goal from the 5-yard line now for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and oftentimes, when a player stood up on the goal line, it's up to the offensive lineman to be able to push the pile, push them into the end zone.
And it's Penrose on the keeper. Penrose gets dropped right around the 8-yard line. So Tigers getting penetration.
Penrose is dropped for a loss by number 7, Kieran Gentry.
Jaden Smith coming up with the tackle.
Yeah, and he was just running, east and west there.
Look, Penrose had a little more room up the middle. So 3rd and goal now from the 8-yard line for Lowell Catholic. Penrose looking to throw. Corner of the end zone. Was it caught? Yes, it was. Touchdown, Lowell Catholic. What a throw to the corner of the end zone as it's Keenan Rudy full with the reception.
And once again, Penrose knows how to pick his spots. Not throwing the ball often, but finishing off the last 2-point conversion and that touchdown by rolling out and then throwing.
You see number 1, Keenan Rudy full with the reception. Tapping one toe, because that's all you need, just 1 foot down for the touchdown.
And
very close to the end zone line.
And the level of concentration it takes to be able to catch the ball but also keep your feet in place is just amazing.
So now Lowell Catholic going to try for the 2-point conversion. They're up 1 after the touchdown. Penrose looking to his right for another receiver. That's broken up by the Tigers. Looked like he was looking for Danny Sullivan over that right side, but O'Brien doing a good job breaking that pass up. Let's take another look at the touchdown one more time.
LC still leads 20-19.
So they're, just able to draw the defense, catch them off guard, by rolling out. And that's actually something that we've seen, both from Penrose and Brooks. Getting defenses to anticipate their runs by rolling out and then throwing on the run. And yeah, whatever it takes to catch a defense off guard.
So Crusaders with a nice drive down to go ahead 20-19 here with 6:42 left in the 4th quarter. And from what we've seen in this game, anything could happen this last 6:42.
Yeah,
nothing would surprise us.
All of the bizarre plays we've seen. Brooks, obviously not a guy who throws from the pocket a lot, but his longest touchdown pass, a throw down the middle of the field from the pocket. Then we see, obviously, Penrose not throwing the ball at all, but then finishing off drives with touchdown passes.
Ball fielded right around the 15-yard line by Davis as he tries to get to the outside. Davis then wrapped up at the 27-yard line. Now the Crusaders are saying that Davis fumbled the ball, but the refs are saying he was down.
Well, we've already seen quite a few turnovers. That time I think he was trying to make a big play there. You saw him trying to bounce it to the outside.
I don't know. That might have been a fumble. They ripped it out of the hands of Davis. That was very close. But at the same time, you can't see if his knee's down in that scrum. So he might have been down when that ball was pulled away. That was really close. Here's one more look at it before the next play. First and 10 now for O'Brien from the 26. It's Brooks going to keep it himself. And he's forced out of bounds near the O'Brien sideline.
Another quarterback keeper, another rollout. Be interested to see what O'Brien's approach is here on this drive. Obviously, it's a huge drive for them. Lowell Catholic, they've been very consistent with their approach. O'Brien's really mixed it up. We've seen, quarterback keepers, running plays, deep throws.
2nd and 7 now for the Tigers. Brooks. We're going to throw it to the sideline. We got a flag on the play. It could have been a legal procedure.
Brooks' pass intended for number 2. Luke
Also could be on the defense.
Flag on the play.
Illegal formation, more than 4 players in the backfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Illegal formation called against the Tigers.
So they had too many. One of their receivers must not have been lined up on the line of scrimmage, which means you have more than 4 players in the backfield, which means you're going to get a 5-yard penalty. So now instead of 3rd and 7, it's going to be 3rd and 11. 3rd and 12.
Yeah, just too many moving pieces there on that penalty. I mean, sometimes when you try to mix things up too much to throw the defense off, you even confuse your teammates on offense.
So 3rd and 11 now. I'm sorry, 2nd and 11 now for O'Brien. And the pass is picked off over the middle. Interception by Nichols. Ian Nichols with a monster forced turnover for Lowell Catholic.
And that is huge there.
I'm sorry, that's not Ian Nichols. Is that Penrose? Nope. That's not Penrose. That's Aiden Maston with another interception for Lowell Catholic. Let's get another look at it. Really good shot there on the ground. And that's the last thing the Tigers needed. They're backed up close to their end zone.
And that's Madison's 2nd pick today. And, I mean, what a way to respond to losing your starting quarterback job, come up with 2 interceptions in a playoff game. Unbelievable.
Both teams now with 3 turnovers on 1st down. It's Nichols with the carry. And he squirms forward up to the 21-yard line.
And now, obviously, with the lead and the field position they have, they can be a little bit more conservative. And, you know, like they have been all game long, continue to just pound the rock with Nichols.
Second down and 9 after the 1-yard pickup there by Nichols. Give it to Ian on 2nd. No, it's Penrose on the keeper. And he makes his way up to the 21-yard line. So just a 1-yard pickup there on, I'm sorry, he made his way up to the 16-yard line. So a 5-yard pickup there for Nichols. Or Penrose, rather.
Yeah, and obviously running the ball, they continue to eat away at the clock, although obviously only with a 1-point lead.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Third down and 4 now for Lowell Catholic. It's Penrose again on the RPO. Makes his way inside the 10-yard line for another 1st down for the Crusaders.
Yeah, and some of these Lowell Catholic fans fired up after that play. And they certainly had a good turnout for this game. As you see, once again, faking the handoff, going to the quarterback keep.
First and goal now for the Crusaders from the 9-yard line. Penrose, this time wrapped up in the backfield. Getting in there for the Tigers. His big number 77, Sean Vassell.
O'Brien saw that coming. And the second he wrapped him up, he was going down.
So loss on the play. It'll be 2nd and goal now from the 10-yard line. It's Penrose again, going to take it himself as he shoots through the middle up to the 6-yard line. And One of the things that's happening right now is the clock is continuing to wind down. We're almost at 3 minutes.
And that's what Lowell Catholic wants. Obviously continuing to run the ball. They continue to chew away at the clock. Obviously an incomplete pass stops the clock. And as a team that hasn't thrown the ball much in this game, it make even less sense for them to do that now, obviously.
Third and goal now from the 6. And it's Nichols with the carry. Did he get in? He's down inside the 1. So they'll be down on the goal line here. 4th and goal, and now Coach Houston certainly going to go for it here on 4th and goal.
Yeah, nothing to lose going for it here. I mean, worst case scenario, if you don't get it, O'Brien is, pinned very deep in their territory.
They won't even get the ball back until well inside of 2 minutes. Coach Houston's going to wait until the very last second to call a timeout here. And he calls it with 2:03 left to go. So the play clock was close to being run down. Smart play there by Coach Houston.
That is great clock management. He should give some pointers to Andy Reid.
There's a lot of coaches that could give pointers to Andy Reid about clock management, but he could give a lot of pointers to coaches about everything else. So 2:03 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Lowell Catholic up by 1, 20-19 here in the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA playoffs. And Lowell Catholic coming back after being down 13-6 to O'Brien. Lowell Catholic went up. Actually tied the game. Went up by 1, and then O'Brien comes back and throws that 64-yard touchdown over the middle to Antoine Foster, who just cut it loose for the 64 yards. Yeah, thought momentum completely shifted the Tigers, but then Lowell Catholic comes back with a nice drive down the field, scores a touchdown. Now after the turnover, they have a chance to punch it in and try to put them up by at least 7. 4th and goal now from the 1 for Lowell Catholic. Penrose gives it to Nichols. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Penrose Nichols getting dropped in front of the goal line. So the Tigers defense doing their job.
Yeah, with the game on the line, just playing some smash mouth football there. And yeah, Nichols just went right at it, but ran into just a wall. And went down quickly.
So the Tigers will have to drive, I would say, at least 80 yards to try to attempt a field goal here. But they have 1:57 left to do it. They certainly have big play capability, as we've seen throughout this game. All starts with Michael Brooks, the quarterback. He's going to take it himself to try to give himself some extra room. And he makes his way up to about the 6-yard line.
Yeah, O'Brien's obviously their most explosive play of the day offensively. Went to Foster. We'll see if they try and look for him.
I'm sorry, they mark him down at the 4, so just a 3-yard pickup there on first down.
But yeah, we'll see if they try and get it to, Foster or Davis, some of their weapons offensively.
Tigers take a timeout here with 1:43 left. They have 1 remaining. So too does Lowell Catholic with just 1 remaining. Very interesting circumstances here, as Lowell Catholic looked like they were going to at least go up by 7 and really have a good chance at sealing the game with a possible point after or even 2-point conversion to go up by 2 scores. But they aren't able to punch it in. They aren't able to capitalize off the Aiden Maston interception. And now it's O'Brien with a chance to try to go down the field and score. They only have 1 timeout left. They've been getting it done through the air. I mean, they've had big plays through the air, so you got to think that Brooks, now that he's got a little bit more room, is going to be heaving the football around in this last minute 43.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Brooks 6 for 14 passing tonight. This time on second down, and Brooks was looking for Luke Maffeo, but the ball falls incomplete. So all of a sudden now 3rd and 7. Obviously 2-down territory for O'Brien. So they'll have 2 downs to try to pick up the 7 yards first and foremost, and then try to string together some big plays.
Yeah, and obviously the right idea there, trying to push the ball down the field, and the incomplete pass stops the clock, so no harm done.
You do have a timeout, so if you're O'Brien, do you if the defense is soft up front, do you maybe try to run it, try to just pick up the first down with a run, sneak one in, and then call the timeout? Then you got, about a minute 30, minute 25, and they just called their last timeout, so that totally kills my theory right there.
Timeout Tigers.
I mean, that being said, though, they could get the quick first down and then spike the ball. So.
Also, something that they could do here. I mean, in high school, you often see teams that try to spike the ball. They don't, the practice is so limited in high school nowadays, more than any other level, especially with so many kids still learning the game at the high school level, that practicing, setting up for a spike, you just don't have time for.
Right.
Like some teams do, some teams are able to fit it in, others aren't. So it's always like they could spike the ball, but have they ever practiced it?
Yeah.
This is something where...
That almost reminds me of the movie, what's it called, Varsity Blues, when their way of spiking the ball is throwing the ball out of bounds to the guy on the horse and hitting him in the head.
That's right.
Yeah.
The clock, of course, stops on a first down, but only for a brief period until they respot the ball. Tigers go back to that bunch formation that they tried earlier. Brooks over the right side. Was it intercepted or was it a reception?
Oh!
No, the ball was caught. Was it picked off? And now we got a flag on the play, so it was an interception for Lowell Catholic. I think it's going to be a celebration penalty. After the interception by, was it Donahue?
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense, number 65. 15-yard penalty, Lowell Catholic's ball, first down.
Number 22, Declan Donahue.
So Declan Donahue with the interception to possibly seal it here for Lowell Catholic. Man, that looked like Davis almost wrestled it away from him. Donahue came up with it at the very last second. They both came to the ground with the ball, and Donahue wrestled it away.
What an individual effort there by Donahue. And, earlier in the game, he had to go to the sideline with an injury. But, obviously in the postseason, playing through the pain and coming up big for his team.
Senior Ryan McCann whistle for that penalty. So that backs Lowell Catholic up to the 40-yard line, but they can just down it here with no timeouts left.
Yeah, and at this point, the penalty meaningless. Lowell Catholic has nothing left to accomplish offensively.
So a tough way to end it here for the O'Brien Tigers, who had a lead for a good portion of this game. But Lowell Catholic able to punch it in towards the end, get that 1-point lead, and there were still some opportunities for both these teams here in the fourth quarter. Lowell Catholic didn't punch it in from the goal line. The Tigers came up with that huge goal line stop, but then couldn't get anything done offensively, and then they throw the interception there on third down.
Yeah, and obviously a disappointing end for O'Brien, like you said, but there are some positives they can take away. I think a big positive for them would be the play of their quarterback, Michael Brooks, who will be back next season.
That's right.
Obviously it can be disheartening if a senior plays very well in a playoff loss, but Brooks, a junior, he'll be back next season. I think his confidence really grew through the way he was able to play tonight. Obviously early on in the game, their star running back, Ginty, going to the sideline, you have to think about, what could have been had he been able to, finish things out. But, obviously, regardless, though, Ginty will be back next season as well.
LC wins 20-19.
So Lowell Catholic will hang on to win this one 20-19 over the O'Brien Tigers here in the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA State Football Playoffs, and certainly a very good game here in Chelmsford. And O'Brien had a lead for a lot of this game, And then Lowell Catholic with a very good second half. A couple of sustained drives, not just big plays, but sustained drives that got them the lead there for good 20-19. And both teams very resilient. You know, we had turnovers on both sides. O'Brien ended up with 4 turnovers and 3 turnovers for Lowell Catholic. So both these teams face some adversity. We talked about the Gene T injury, like you said. So both these teams recovering from some of those things throughout the game, and both teams doing a great job of that.
And what a back-and-forth night. I mean, it was so unpredictable from start to finish with, injuries, turnovers, penalties. Lowell Catholic showing their ability to make explosive plays defensively and intercept the ball. That was really what turned the corner for them in the second half. But all in all, just a great team effort. And they had a very simple approach offensively, but it worked for them with just, obviously the running back plays up the gut and then the quarterback keeps.
No question, and certainly the running game worked well tonight for the Crusaders as their senior running back, Ian Nichols, had over 200 yards rushing here tonight. Folks, going to head to break. When we come back, we'll have our Game of the Week MVP and our final stats here from Chelmsford High School Alumni Field right after these messages. Don't go away.
Foster safety. Foster hope. Foster joy. Foster curiosity. Foster support. Become a foster parent, because every parent makes a difference. Foster, Massachusetts.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be?
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
First time I tried Vicodin, it was laying around my mom's house. And then I kept taking them whenever I could get them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it, first impression, my way in. But can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or being the first one to always step up. No, that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent that is dedicated, hardworking, and determined like me.
Do you want to retire like a champ? Just like legendary basketball star Uncle Drew?
Don't do him like that, Uncle Drew!
You're already acing the game. You've got your dream ride.
Don't be slamming my door.
Sorry about that.
You just did the same. Gotta get the boys.
Your dream vacation and your dream team. And now you can make your retirement just as legendary.
I get buckets.
Get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing, like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Queen is just my everything.
His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home walk restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Welcome back to Alumni Field at Chelmsford High School at the conclusion of the North Division 7 first round of the MIAA state playoffs. Lowell Catholic was able to hang on and defeat O'Brien 20-19. Heck of a second half from the entire Lowell Catholic team. But on a night where they honored their seniors, it was their senior running back, Ian Nichols, who was outstanding tonight, well over 200 yards on the ground. He is our MVP, and he and the winning coach, Coach Jason Houston, are down on the field with our color commentator, Leverett Ball. Leverett, take it away.
Thanks, Pat. So first off, Ian, I mean, what a game for the team. What a game for you individually. You had over 200 yards rushing. We saw you scoring touchdowns, moving your feet in the open field, running over defensive players. What was your mindset tonight?
I just wanted to go out there and be the best player I could possibly be. I mean, obviously, we started off terrible. I fumbled on the very first play. So after that, I just didn't want to let my boys down because my O-line, they were opening up holes for me all day. I just wanted to make sure I could repay them for that.
And, you mentioned your O-line. I mean, you guys had a consistent approach with you running up the middle and then also running quarterback keeps. And, you continue to do it and do it and do it and continue to be effective. How much credit does your line deserve for opening up holes for you?
All of it. They deserve all the credit. They're some of the hardest working players on the team, and they do board drills every single practice. That's all they do because we have all our individual drills. So they've been waiting to, they're trying to get a 1,000-yard rusher. They want a 1,000-yard rusher really bad. So I'm just trying to help them get there.
And, you mentioned that you did have the fumble early. How were you able to just stay positive and maintain your confidence and make some plays after that?
Short-term memory. And whenever there's a bad play, just forget about it. We're on to the next play. You can't spend too much time thinking about the last play because then it kills you twice. It's what Coach Houston talks about all the time. Don't let a play kill you twice.
Well, Ian, great job tonight. Obviously, you're making plays all over the field. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
All right, so, Coach, first off, just coming off the win, what's your initial reaction?
It was a great effort by the boys. I'm extremely proud with how they played tonight. They faced some adversity early on. We turned the ball over a few times. They came back in the second half, and they finished really strong.
And, what can you say about Ian's individual performance? Obviously, you just talked to him a second ago. What can you say about the way he played today?
Ian's been awesome. He's been our starting running back for 3 years. He continues to grow and get better with every game, every carry. After he fumbled the first play on offense, I just told him, hey, forget about it. Next play, can't let that hurt us the rest of the game. And he bounced back really quickly and had a heck of a game tonight for us.
And, obviously, from what I understand, you're finding out who you're playing next tomorrow. Just moving forward, what's the team's attitude?
We're excited. We'll enjoy this for the next 24 hours once we find out whether we're going to be playing Greater Lawrence or St. Mary's. We'll get back to work. We get a lot of work with them playing on a Saturday, a little short week, kind of having not as much time to prepare and get everything ready for Monday's practice, but we'll get after it like we always do. We'll have a great week of preparation, and we'll give it our best effort come next week.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you.
Lev, thanks very much. Thanks for hustling down there for the post-game interview. Obviously, Coach Houston happy with the win tonight, but his team is got a lot of work to do before they see their next opponent here in the playoffs. It always gets tougher each round down the line. Let's take a look at the halftime. My goodness, the final stats here from Alumni Field in Chelmsford. And first up, there you see the O'Brien Tigers. Brooks with 31 yards rushing, and Osa Izabazua with 23 yards on the ground. You got to remember, Colonel Nisginti, their starting running back, did sprain his ankle in the first quarter, and they missed him the rest of the game. That played a huge factor here tonight. Davis with the 2 big touchdown receptions, and Fisher with the great 64-yard catch and run for the touchdown for the Tigers. That's really where they did their damage offensively through the air. You see Brooks with 6 for 16 passing and 131 passing yards and 3 touchdowns and also 3 interceptions for the junior quarterback. Let's take a look at the Crusaders' final stats. There you see Lowell Catholic. Nichols, as we talked about, he actually had over 200 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns for Lowell Catholic. Penrose had several yards rushing for the Crusaders as well. These, I believe, are our halftime stats here from earlier, but Penrose and Nichols were really the main guys tonight for Lowell Catholic, and you could see throughout the entire game what kind of damage they did on the ground and through the air. So a really productive night for both the quarterback and the running back here for the Lowell Catholic Crusaders. Certainly had a fun one here tonight, folks. If you want to watch this game again, you can go to our website, www.cityofboston.gov/game-of-the-week. All the links are going to be up there. You can watch all the games there on the site. You can also follow us on Facebook. Go to facebook.com/game-of-the-week Boston. We got a lot of different links and pictures and videos. And we also have, you can also follow us on Twitter at Boston City TV. And if you want to tweet at us, use the hashtag BostonGOW. You're going to want to follow our social media sites to see which games we're going to be covering over the next couple of weeks. We'll see if we can cover another playoff game. We also might cover a regular season game over the next couple of weeks before we get to Thanksgiving. Just a couple of weeks for now. Football season is flying by. I can't believe it's already November. But right now, folks, we're going to say so long here from Chelmsford High. We'll see you next time on Game of the Week. Take care, everybody.